Don't pack away your gardening gloves just yet, because November might just be your secret weapon month. While most gardeners think it's too cold to plant, smart gardeners know this is the perfect time to sow perennials that'll reward you with stunning blooms next spring and summer. If you love gardening on a budget and want your yard to look like a paradise without breaking the bank, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss out on our weekly garden hacks, planting guides, and Dollar Tree finds that actually work. Let's grow smarter together. Hey garden lovers, welcome back to the place where we help you grow beautiful spaces without spending a fortune. Whether you've got a tiny balcony garden or a full backyard, these 7 perennials will make your next growing season easier, more colorful, and far more rewarding. Grab your notebook because I'll be sharing not just the plant names, but the why, the how, and some secret bonus tips pros use to boost germination and survival rates during cold months. All right, let's dig in, starting with a classic that thrives in the November chill. Let's start with a garden favorite that never disappoints: lupines. These tall, colorful spires are pure magic in any garden. The best part? They love cold weather. November sowing actually helps their tough outer seed coat soften through the winter chill, so when spring warmth hits, they sprout faster and stronger. You can sow them directly outdoors in well-drained soil. Just scatter the seeds, lightly cover them with soil, and let nature handle the rest. If you're in a snowy region, don't worry, the snow acts like a natural blanket, protecting and moistening the seeds all season. By next May or June, you'll be rewarded with dramatic, cottage-style blooms that attract bees, butterflies, and compliments from everyone who visits your garden. Now here's a little bonus tip to make your lupines thrive even more. Before planting, soak the seeds in warm water for about 24 hours. It softens the seed coat and encourages quicker germination. After sowing, cover the area with a light layer of compost to help retain moisture through winter. And resist the urge to overwater. Nature's own rainfall and frost will do the job perfectly. Now let's move to our second perennial, one that's tough, reliable, and absolutely stunning once it starts to bloom. Next up, we have one of the most dependable perennials you can plant: coneflowers, also known as echinacea. These hardy bloomers are a gift that keeps on giving. They're drought-tolerant, frost-tolerant, and incredibly low maintenance, making them a perfect choice for November sowing. Once established, they return every year with their bold, daisy-like petals and cone-shaped centers that attract pollinators from miles away. To sow them, simply sprinkle the seeds over loosened soil in a sunny spot, press them gently into the surface, and let the cool weather do its work. They'll sit quietly through winter, then awaken with vibrant colors by late spring or early summer. What makes coneflowers special is how resilient they are. Even if you forget about them for months, they'll still push through when the temperatures rise again. Plus, their deep roots make them incredibly durable, perfect for gardens that face hot summers or uneven watering schedules. Here's a small bonus tip that makes a big difference. Before sowing, place the seeds in a small plastic bag and keep them in your refrigerator for about 3 to 4 weeks. This mimics the natural winter chill and helps break their dormancy faster. After planting, cover them lightly with soil and add a thin layer of mulch. It keeps the ground insulated and prevents seed washout during heavy rain. Finally, remember not to overfeed them. Coneflowers actually bloom better in poor, lean soil. By the time summer rolls around, you'll have stunning, butterfly-filled patches of purple, pink, and white that stay in bloom for months. And the best part is, they'll come back stronger every single year. Now let's talk about our third perennial, one that adds texture, fragrance, and timeless beauty to any garden corner.
Number 3 on our list is the one plant that every gardener dreams of growing: lavender. This fragrant beauty doesn't just bring color and charm, it transforms your entire garden atmosphere. Sowing lavender in November gives the seeds the cold period they need to sprout successfully once warmer days arrive. That's right, this chill period, called cold stratification, actually helps lavender germinate stronger and more evenly. Lavender loves full sunlight and well-drained soil. When sowing, scatter the seeds gently over the surface and press them lightly into the soil rather than covering them deeply. They need light to germinate, so avoid burying them too much. If you live in a region with frosty winters, sowing in trays or containers outdoors is perfect. The natural temperature fluctuations help the seeds prepare for spring growth. Now, here's a helpful bonus tip to make your lavender truly thrive. Before sowing, mix a small amount of fine sand into your seed tray soil. Lavender prefers sandy, light textures that prevent root rot. After sowing, mist the soil instead of watering heavily. Too much moisture can damage the tiny seeds. And finally, keep the pots or trays in a spot where they get good airflow, because lavender seedlings love fresh, dry conditions as they develop. The result? Healthy, compact lavender plants that bloom beautifully and fill your garden with that unforgettable scent of calm and freshness. You can use the dried flowers later for teas, sachets, or even homemade essential oils. It's truly a gardener's gift that keeps on giving. Next, we're moving to our fourth perennial, one that thrives in the cold, brightens early spring, and spreads color effortlessly year after year. At number 4, we have the bright and timeless Shasta Daisy, a classic perennial that never fails to bring charm to any garden. These cheerful white blooms with sunny yellow centers are incredibly easy to grow, and November is a perfect month to start them. The cool soil and natural moisture of late autumn give Shasta Daisy seeds just what they need to settle in before winter. Once spring arrives, they burst to life with fresh growth and dazzling flowers that last all through summer. To sow them, sprinkle the seeds gently over loosened, moist soil and press them lightly in, with no need to cover deeply since they need light to germinate. Choose a spot with full or partial sun and avoid areas that hold too much water. Shasta daisies thrive in conditions that mimic nature: cool air, good drainage, and a bit of neglect. Now, here's a bonus tip to give your daisies a strong start. Before sowing, mix a pinch of fine sand with your seeds. This helps you spread them evenly and prevents overcrowding. After sowing, cover the area with a very light dusting of compost to protect the seeds from wind. And as they grow next season, removing the first round of spent blooms early encourages more flowers to form, keeping your garden looking bright for months. The reward? A stunning wave of classic white petals dancing in the breeze, perfect for garden borders, paths, or cutting for fresh arrangements. Shasta daisies bring that effortless elegance every gardener loves, year after year. Before we head into the next plant, if you're enjoying these tips so far, don't forget to give this video a quick thumbs up. It really helps more garden lovers discover these guides. And if you've tried sowing any of these perennials before, drop your experience in the comments below. I love hearing what's worked for you and which plants have become your yearly favorites. All right, let's keep going, because the next perennial on our list brings not just beauty, but a lovely scent that makes every corner of your garden feel alive. At number 5, we've got a stunning classic that adds color, fragrance, and old-fashioned charm to any garden: Sweet William, also known as Dianthus barbatus. These compact, cluster-flowering perennials are ideal for November sowing because they actually prefer cool soil and a touch of frost to get started. By sowing now, you're giving them the head start they need to bloom beautifully next year. Their vibrant shades of red, pink, and white make them perfect for borders, pathways, and even containers. To sow them, loosen your soil and sprinkle the seeds gently across the surface. Press them lightly, don't bury them deeply, and keep the soil just slightly moist. The winter chill will help them settle naturally, and when spring warmth arrives, you'll see dense tufts of fresh green shoots ready to explode with color. Now, here's a little bonus tip to help your Sweet William thrive. Before sowing, mix a bit of organic compost into your soil. It gives the young roots a nutrient boost through winter. Once the seedlings emerge, pinch off the top leaves early to encourage bushier, fuller growth. And if you want continuous blooms, remove spent flowers promptly. This keeps them flowering longer into the summer. By next season, your Sweet William patch will be buzzing with bees and butterflies, filling your garden with fragrance and life. It's one of those plants that truly rewards patience with unforgettable beauty.
Coming up next is a hardy perennial that's easy to grow, perfect for pollinators, and one of the best low-maintenance bloomers you can start this November. Number 6 on our list is a true sunshine maker, Coreopsis, often called tick seed. If you want endless waves of bright yellow or golden blooms that last from early summer all the way into fall, this is the perennial to sow. Coreopsis thrives in poor soil, loves sunlight, and handles drought like a champion, which makes it one of the easiest plants for beginner gardeners to grow. Sowing in November gives Coreopsis the natural cold period it needs to germinate evenly. Scatter the seeds over loosened soil in a sunny spot, press them down gently, and leave them uncovered or just barely dusted with fine soil. The winter moisture and chill will do the rest, helping those tiny seeds toughen up and get ready to sprout once the temperatures rise. Here's a bonus tip that'll make your Coreopsis burst with color. Before sowing, blend your seeds with a handful of dry sand. It helps you distribute them evenly without clumping. After planting, water lightly to settle the soil and then leave them alone. These seeds prefer to stay on the dry side. And once your plants mature, cut them back lightly after their first bloom cycle to trigger a second wave of flowers later in the season. By midsummer, your garden will be glowing with golden petals that dance in the breeze and attract pollinators from far and wide. It's one of those perennials that just keeps giving. Beautiful, hardy, and effortless. Now for our final perennial, a graceful bloomer that thrives through frost, fills your garden with texture, and announces spring with timeless elegance. And finally, rounding out our list at number 7 is one of the most graceful and underrated perennials you can sow in November, Columbine, also known as Aquilegia. These delicate, nodding flowers look like they've been painted by hand, with elegant petals that come in every shade from deep violet to soft pink, yellow, and white. What makes Columbine truly special is how easily it grows from seed when started in cool soil. November sowing gives it the perfect natural chilling period it needs, so by spring, the seeds awaken, ready to grow strong, healthy plants. To plant them, sprinkle the seeds on top of moist, well-drained soil and press them gently. No need to cover them too much, since they need light to germinate. Choose a partly shaded area if you live in a hot region, or a bright, cool spot if your climate is milder. Once established, columbines are hardy, self-seeding, and return year after year with even more blooms than before. Here's a simple bonus tip that makes all the difference. After sowing, mist the soil lightly every few days instead of watering heavily. The seeds are tiny and can easily wash away. When seedlings appear in spring, thin them out carefully, giving each one enough space to develop a strong root system. And for even better results, leave some of the spent blooms after flowering. Columbine will reseed naturally, giving you more plants without any extra work. By early summer, your garden will reward you with those dreamy bell-shaped blooms swaying gently in the breeze, a picture of pure spring charm. And the best part? Once you've planted Columbine, it practically takes care of itself, coming back each year stronger, fuller, and even more beautiful. And there you have it. 7 of the best perennials you can sow this November to guarantee a garden full of color, texture, and life next year. Each of these plants has one thing in common. They love the cold, they thrive on nature's rhythm, and they reward you with effortless beauty once spring rolls in. Now, before you go, take a quick moment to like this video if you found it helpful. It really helps this content reach more gardeners like you. And if you haven't yet, subscribe for more weekly gardening guides, seasonal planting tips, and creative ways to make your space bloom beautifully without spending a fortune. Drop a comment below and tell me which of these perennials you're most excited to try this season. I'd love to hear what you're sowing in your garden this November. Until next time, keep your hands in the soil and your heart in the garden, because every seed you plant now is a promise of beauty waiting to bloom.